Good morning, everyone.
Good morning, Professor. Morning.
Morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
So today's our April the 22nd session, and the main topics for today's session are the third letter written by Crevecoeur, and there's a noise in the background. What was I'm curious, just curious about that. Okay, finished. So today we're going to start reviewing Crevecoeur's third letter, where is an American, and then we're going to move on to Thomas Paine, Paine's Common Sense pamphlet. But before we go on with this, we need to make some decisions in terms of specific activities that have to do with the syllabus. So for that reason, I'm going to share the syllabus with you, and we can make the decisions together, right? Syllabus right here. So in case you don't have it, here's the syllabus, and we should be looking at the section called Revolutionary Age, and the texts that we're supposed to be covering today are Letters from American Farmer, specifically letter number 3, and Common Sense pamphlet. I hope you are all seeing the same thing I'm seeing now, the Word file containing the syllabus. Can you see it?
Yes.
Wonderful. So in terms of assessment, I would like to focus on the first one. The first one is the online forum, and I understand that most of you have had a chance to post, because I have read some posts and the replies, but I understand that at least Romina doesn't have the option to reply. She already fixed the one situation, which was how to post. Now she's having an issue with replying to posts. Does anyone else have issues posting?
Yes, I do. I had a problem with the first post and the reply. I haven't done any of them. I sent you an email because I could if I could comment in Nicole Gallardo's account, and I also sent an email to Soporte UCM, and I haven't got a reply. I guess it's because I haven't got this course on the system. I'm not enrolled in the system, so they told me to wait until tomorrow, and then they might have the problem fixed.
It's answerably, or did they send you a mail with the answer, or you had a conversation through Teams with them?
No, I sent them an email and they answered yesterday.
Okay. All right. So let's wait for the time that they referred to, and then we see what we can do. If I can add some pressure from my perspective or from the school director. And then
yes, they just told me to wait until tomorrow, and if it is not fixed, I can send them an email again, and they will fix it.
Okay, I understand that there are, I mean, many people are going through very varied technical issues, and they have been, supplying solutions for a lot of people. So, yeah, let's be patient with that. Other than that, you can, well, post through a classmate or send me the post directly through the LMS. Okay? All right. All righty. Let me go back to, are you still seeing the, you're all still seeing the syllabus, right?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
good. So, so far, as soon as the issues are fixed, the online form seems to be working. I will be adding another question. Okay, issues with the connection, I think.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Let's go back to the syllabus. I'm going to reshare it. All right. So, do you have any comments about the rubric? Is there anything that you believe that should be changed?
I think given the circumstances, maybe the thing about the week before that we have to make a comment, because it says that you have to comment the forum a week in advance.
Right.
So that would be but like my only issue, because I couldn't, and Romina also couldn't comment earlier. I don't know what everybody else thinks about it.
Well, actually, I wasn't going to consider that for the first. I mean, not for just the first original posts and replies, but as soon as everyone has, I mean, anyone has everything fixed in connection to the LMS, we can continue with that criterion for the rubric. So. If we are also for the second, I think we can count that, we can consider that criterion, but it's not going to be considered for the first posts, the first original post and answers. So, okay, so never mind, don't worry about that.
Okay, thank you.
No problem. Please interrupt me at any moment, all right? The second evaluation involves two book reports, and I want you to make some decisions in connection to who you will be working with. That's one question. Which literary work do you think you consider to be interesting for you? And the specific organization that we're going to have, the order, who's going first, second, third, etc., etc. Let me show, because you're and writers who were very productive. For example, we have Nathaniel Hawthorne, Herman Melville, Walt Whitman, Edgar Allan Poe.
Professor,
We have Harry. Yes, ma'am.
you just had problems with the connection, so I
Yes.
couldn't hear anything.
Okay, no problem. Thank you for telling me that. I'm going to
You're welcome.
start. Thank you. We're going to. Okay, I'm sharing the word again, and I'm showing you authors here that are Yes, that they are considered to be romantic writers, but also some of them were considered to be transcendentalists. Okay, so if you look at this section here, transcendentalism, also called American Renaissance, is another term that was used for specific writers from the Romantic period, which are, for example, Emerson and Henry David Thoreau. They were more than romantic, they were considered transcendentalist writers. But anyway, that's going to be a definition and a difference that we're going to make later. The point is, in this section, we have book reports during the Romantic period. In the next section, after Romanticism, we have realism and naturalism. And there are also a couple of options that you can take. Okay. We have Crane, Twain, London, Sinclair, Dreiser, and Beers. And the other period in which we're going to have book reports means the period which is called modernism, which also involves Jazz Age and Harlem Renaissance, meaning that they are all part of this. We're going to consider this all part of modernism. So modernism is a big concept for that era. So we have Steinbeck, Fitzgerald, Hemingway, Harper Lee, Faulkner, and Salinger. So I know I'm showing you three periods in which we're having book reports: modernism, realism, and romanticism. Okay, but according to the syllabus, you will have two book reports. Okay, two book reports. So you will only have to choose two books, two literary works, and you can use whatever criteria you have. For example, maybe you like the literary period. For example, you consider yourself closer to romanticism, meaning that romanticism is not fairy tales, love at first sight, but it's a way to connect with reality, right? It's a way to understand the position of human beings in the world. It's a way that you are connected to each other and have a very humanistic perception of reality. That's romanticism. And you might be interested in realism. For example, you actually like to know the true facts of life. You want to know, you want to look at life through a very realistic lens. So you're actually understanding life as it is, not dressed up in mystery and magic. Okay. Or you can be more interested in modernism, which is a period in between wars, in between World War the First and the Second, with a general sentiment of deception, a general deception of frustration, a general sense of that the world is going to rot and it's going to break apart at any moment, and we need to enjoy life, and we need to understand that maybe tomorrow we're going to be dead. So we need to enjoy whatever we have now to be joyful about. Okay, or you could use another criteria. Maybe you already know one specific writer. You are familiar with Whitman, or you're familiar with Allan Poe, or you're familiar with Thoreau, or you're not familiar, but you heard something and you really would like to know a little bit more. Maybe another criteria, maybe you read, for example, The Black Cat in a different moment of your life, maybe when you were in elementary school. And now it would be a good option to reread the same classic. Okay, so that's one thing that I want you to do now. First, I want you to decide if you're going to be working with the book reports individually, in pairs, groups of 3, or up to 4 students. Up to 4. Okay, then the literary work, and then after we're done with that, we're going to decide the order in which you're going to give your book reports. Questions, comments, please.
Professor?
Ma'am?
This we can choose among all of these books for the first book report and for the second book report, right?
Exactly. So you have three literary periods: Romanticism, Naturalism, and Modernism. But you get to choose only two.
Okay.
So yeah.
And the date for the first book report?
The date for the first book reports. It's a good question. Because in this week we're going to be finishing with the Revolutionary Age, which is considering only, we're not considering a lot, we're considering only some highlight sections of the period. For example, letter 3 and Common Sense pamphlet. In a couple of numbers, the last of the Mexicans, just an idea, right? And what I would like to be more focused on or go deeper into are the slave narratives. And that's going to take at least 2 weeks or 1 week and a half. So for the Romanticism, we're just talking about, I would say, May, half of May, probably the second, third week.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And how is this book report going to be carried out? Like a like a like a written essay, mostly without presentation?
That's an excellent question. So Rocio, right?
Yes.
Okay. So the group will divide several aspects of the book. One aspect that should be considered in your book report is a bit of information about the author. Okay. As much information as possible to understand the literary work. This is not a presentation in which you are discussing from the birthday until the death of the character through a 30-minute presentation. You're adding whatever you think it's important for us to, and whatever's going to stick in our minds, because you can give us lots of dates about the writer, but probably none of us are going to remember the dates, but maybe we're going to remember anecdotes or specific pieces of information that are connected with the literary work. Okay, so make the information stick in our minds. That's for the biographical aspects of the author. Okay. Also, I'm sorry. You need to include in your literary analysis aspects of a literary analysis itself. For example, who the narrator is, what's the tone, what's the setting. Yes.
Isn't it possible to follow the same structure we were using in the last course?
Yeah, I think so. So if you took the last course, you can follow that one. If you did not take it, you can ask me, and I can explain it to you maybe through a mail or through a one-to-one conversation. Yeah, absolutely. That's a very common to sum up everything. And Javiera, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, great comment, because you saved me lots of words. So then that's basically structure, the same structure for book reports that we had last semester. Okay, so so far I'm looking at the contact list for the team, and we have Alejandro. Hello, Alejandro. Belen. Hello. Camila Cornejo, Carlos Mesa, Constanza Bizarro, who's joining us. Hello, Constanza. Daniela Canales. Hi. Daniela, Javiera, Laura, María
Hi,
Paz.
Professor.
Hello. Mauricio, Nicole Gallardo, Rocío.
Hello. Yeah,
Hello.
hello.
Hello. Romina Flores. Who's not here with us today is Miguel. Yomali, I haven't seen her in a while. And Barbara says, I'm sure, and I'm assuming Mauro should be the same as Mauricio Reyes, right? Mauro B-O.
Yes.
Okay, so you appeared twice. And Barbara, who's Barbara? Barbara, it should be Barbara. The only Barbara, yeah, the only Barbara that's here. Okay, so I would like you to consider people who are not attending to be part of your groups if you want. Now, how do we do this? I received an email from a group of students saying that they were going to work together. So that's going to be one group. But I would like to hear from the rest of you. Do you have a decision? Do you want to take some time?
Professor, that was what I wanted to say, because some of us still don't know if they are going to be in which section, because I personally I don't have the course and the system, so I don't know if I'm going to be on Mrs. Canelos or in yours. So maybe we could have the final decision for Friday.
Absolutely. Yeah, why not?
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you again.
Very good
Professor,
suggestions. Yeah.
my group is already made.
Good.
Is composed by Catalina and Martin.
Okay, let me take a look.
And also me, of course.
Yeah. So I'm sorry. So Mauricio and
Catalina,
Catalina and
Martin.
Martin. Okay.
Yes.
Thank you, Marisa. So this is. Are you going to be working together for the two book reports, or you are just, joining this team for only the first book report?
Yes, for the two book reports.
Good. Okay. So book reports.
Is there any chance to I mean having sorry, I'm sleepy. Is there any chance to choose the option you would like due to the circumstances? I mean, it's kind of difficult to gather with a group for some of us. I don't know.
Yeah, it's going to be different. It's
Yeah.
going to be something that we should look at as a challenge, as an opportunity. You have some time to develop this. I mean, it's a challenge for everyone, for all of us, trying to adapt to the circumstances and to this new context. So my suggestion would be, since distance is not an issue in terms of grip work, but I think internet connection or signal, right? That's mainly the thing. To define, well, after you define on who you will be working with, and decide, after you decide which specific literary work, you need to divide the different aspects of this literary analysis and probably define different times of the day. So sometimes it could be easier for some of you, not only because of time availability, but also internet connection to meet in the morning or very late at night or during late afternoon. So that's also interesting to consider, particularly if you have a very weak signal wherever you are. But take this as an opportunity to explore this new system of work. If you have issues, let me know. We can always move a date. We can always be flexible. Okay, so don't despair if technology is not helping you, but hindering the process. We can still count on the human factor. Okay, we can still be flexible about a date or about requirements. Just like what we're doing with the forum, because we're not applying from day zero the rubric, right? Or we are considering a certain flexibility in terms of a specific area of the rubric for the online forum. Same thing with book reports. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so I have. Do you have access to the
Professor?
syllabus? Yes, ma'am.
The group that you said is already done. Is the one of Laura's.
Now, give me the names again, please, because I wrote it, but I'm typing in a Word document now, and which is going to be sort of the official thing between quotation marks.
Okay. Laura sent you an email to ask for permission to work the 5 of us. And is it okay?
Yeah, I said yes at that time. I changed my mind, but I'm going to keep with the decision that I mentioned before. I'm not changing that to you.
Okay.
Because I already said yes to you, but from now on, the groups are no bigger than 4, okay? But
okay.
Yes. So
Thank
Laura, sure.
Yes.
Laura and
Laura Gallardo, Belén Reyes,
and
Miguel
yeah.
Loyola, Carlos Mesa, and Romina Flores.
Okay.
Thank you.
No problem. Okay, so far we have 2 groups, but as Maria Paz mentioned, Javiera, on Friday probably we could have a final answer in terms of the sections, which sections you will be part of. Now, if you become part of Ms. Canelos' section, and if you work with students from the other section, you just need to agree on which date you're going to give your presentation, considering that you can move, we can move easier by using these virtual elements. So maybe that's not going to be a bit of a big problem if you're on it. But we need to consider that on the go. All right, we need to consider that on the go.
Okay.
All right. Now, for the 2 sections, for the 2 groups, for Mauricio's group, Catalina, Martin, I think didn't see them here. No, they are not part of today's session. Mauricio, I guess you will need more time to define which 2 literary works you're going to be working with, right? Am I right or wrong? We already have decided on which one.
Yeah, we wanted to work with The Great Gatsby.
Okay, so The Great Gatsby, it is.
Yes.
That is modernist literary work.
Yes.
Exactly. Any other?
And the other one was Moby Dick.
Okay. And then Moby Dick. Wonderful. So we're done with that one.
Thank you.
And thank you. And Moby Dick, which even though it's classified or labeled as romantic literary work, you may see that there are many different perspectives to analyze it. It's a very rich literary work, which might include transcendentalist views on life, and also there are some uh, naturalistic uh, um, perspectives as well, and even realism is present. So my suggestion, Mauricio, is don't lose sight of these other perspectives. Even though it's labeled as a romantic literary work, there are many other. All right, many other elements.
Okay.
That all right. Any other? Laura, Belén, Miguel, Carlos, Romina. I think Laura and Belén are here, and Carlos. Romina is also here. Sorry.
Yes, from I think it is romanticism.
Mm-hmm.
We chose the Black Cat, I think it's called.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, and we still decided the other one.
Okay,
Probably
good.
from modernism, but we can see the books. If you could show us to us, sure.
Uh, you cannot see the book. You cannot see the syllabus.
Yes, and
Okay.
in order to see the books from modernism.
Okay. I think I'm sharing them now.
Oh yes, yeah, there are.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Uh, I don't know.
No pressure. I mean, only. Also, your choices are not written in stone. Okay. If you want to change later, it's totally fine.
Sir, and if I don't have a group, may I choose to? Uh, I don't know.
Sure. Yeah. Absolutely.
Oh, okay. I would like the Telltale Heart.
Okay. This is Javiera, right?
Yes.
Okay. So, Javiera, the Telltale Heart.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And The Old Man and the Sea, please.
No problem. The old man and the sea.
Thank you.
Good choices. Sure.
Professor,
Yes, ma'am.
I think we have already chosen, and I think it is a rose for Emily.
Wonderful. A rose for Emily. Okay.
Thank you.
No problem. Alrighty. It's going to be interesting the way this is going to a rose for a rose for Emily, modernist, and a black cat from the romantic period. Perfect. Okay, Laura. It's going to be interesting the way this is going to develop because um okay, we have, for example, two groups.
Professor,
Ma'am,
I'm sorry to interrupt.
go on.
With Nicole Gallardo, we already chose.
Okay, you have made your decision. Good. Maria Paz and Nicole
Gallardo.
Gallardo. Okay. Okay, and your choices are?
I can't actually see the
Sorry.
yeah, but no, I have it on my phone. It's first one is civil disobedience.
Okay, I think I'm showing you the
Oh, okay.
the syllabus. I think I'm not sure.
Uh, no, not yet. Now, yeah, sure.
Okay, civil disobedience, that transcendentalist work by Thoreau, okay?
Yes, the romantic period. That one, and to kill a mockingbird. A mockingbird.
And To Kill a Mockingbird, okay. To Kill a Mockingbird, which is, let me see, to copy and paste it. Okay. I'm having some issues with the mouse pad. It's getting very stubborn. Okay. Okay, I got you here. So María Paz Alarcón, Nicole Gallardo. Good.
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
No problem. Let me save this. Oh man, it's this mouse pad is driving me crazy because it's not just once, but several times during the day. Okay. PIN 518 book reports 2020 save. Okay, so my idea is then to share this document in the LMS so you can have access to it. And remember, you can always change your literary choice. Okay, you can modify the way you are working. For example, Maria Paz Alarcón and Nicole Gallardo, they are working with Civil Disobedience and To Kill a Mockingbird. They can add another member. They can, well, fight and then decide on one working with one choice and the other one working with the other one, and maybe getting a new group. Javiera can have more people with her group or work herself. The same with Laura, Belén, Miguel, Carlos, and Romina. They can maybe decide that they're going to be working in smaller groups. Same with Mauricio, Catalina, Martin. You can have another one on the side on divide yourselves. So it might be a quite dynamic scenario. Good. That's in terms of book reports. The order for the presentations, well, necessarily to have a consistent order and organization, all the romantic literary periods will have to be first, okay? Then all the realistic or naturalistic literary works need to be second. And finally, all the modernist works need to be last, okay? But among the romantic literary works, we can find an agreement in which we can reach an agreement in which we do this randomly, or we decide on drawing the shortest straw, whatever you're more comfortable with. But we need to have an organization for that. We need to be sure who's going first, who's going second, because that person, that couple, or that group will take the leading role during that specific session, will provide information, will give us a chance to reflect, will have the opportunity to actually discuss the literary work and provide their own perspective about it. Okay. So we're going to see the organization next week, considering Maria Paz's words, that probably we're going to have a clearer configuration of the section, and then we can decide next week, probably with a better, a more stable scenario. Okay, that's in terms of book reports. Going back to the evaluation.
Teacher?
Or assess. Yes, ma'am?
May I interrupt you? I wanted to say that Rocio and I will be working together on the book reports.
Good, very good. Daniela, right?
Yes.
Okay, So Daniela and Rocio, what are your choices?
Can I ask you something? We were wondering if we could work with the author Virginia Woolf.
Yes and no. I mean, I really like Virginia Woolf. She's wonderful. But she's British. So if you can find, if you can find another female literary figure, maybe following her same line, but from United States or any of the other colonies, just go ahead, all right? But during your presentation, you can make references to Virginia Woolf as well. I mean, there's no point in denying his influence in many other female writers. Okay, but that's the only thing that Virginia Woolf would be part of the other course.
Okay.
Okay,
So,
Professor, one book we would like to take is Huckleberry Finn, if it's not taken.
No, it's not.
Yeah, that would be one.
Okay, so Huckleberry Finn it is. That's let me find it. Okay, right here. No, it's not here. It's not here. But yeah, go ahead. Let me type it down. Huck Finn. Good. Any other that you already made up your mind?
No, we're standby.
Good. Good.
We're there at the moment. Thank you.
Yeah, no, thank you.
Okay, sure. So Huckleberry Finn's yours. Okay, so let me see if I'm sharing the syllabus.
Professor,
it's right here.
I'm
Sir?
sorry. I'm missing. What are the literary works that are available? Because I didn't want to say anything because I intend to work with Natalia Correa, but she's going to change sections tomorrow, so that's why I haven't talked with her. But what are the books that are available to work?
Okay, let's do this together. Let's consider the ones taken. I remember Mauricio mentioned Moby Dick, I think. Mauricio?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I did.
Okay, so that one would be taken. Let's use, I don't know, this color. So that one's taken. The black cat was taken as well, right?
Yes.
Okay, the telltale heart was taken as well, if I remember well. Civil disobedience was taken as well. Over here, Huckleberry Finn. The Great Gatsby. The Old Man and the Sea. To Kill a Mockingbird was taken as well. A Rose for Emily was taken as well. And those are the ones taken.
Okay, so so there's no one. I mean, I'm the only one that is missing from taking a book, because I can talk with Natalia, so to choose which one we can work on.
In terms of Alejandro, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, in terms of participants, let's see. I don't recall having Barbara in a group. Am I right? Or let me double check the Barbara. She's not. Yeah, I don't have her in a group. Camila Cornejo, Constanza Pizarro. Eh, Yomali. So in terms of group, Alejandro, this is a dynamic thing. You can decide to work with Natalia if she's, coming to the section, or you can, make up a group with other members of the section. So it's still a dynamic process. So there's still you still have time to organize in a group.
Yeah. Can you show me the which period the the next the second period, please. So after we talk with Natalia, should I send you an email to tell you which books we're going to work on?
Okay. Sure. Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Okay. Assuming that you're still looking at the syllabus, so that's in terms of book reports and in connection. Ma'am, I'm listening.
Can we make a change in the book that we chose?
Sure.
We want to change with Nicole.
Is this Maria Paz, right?
Yes, Maria
okay.
Paz.
Okay.
We are talking now and we are making some changes. I mean one change. It's instead of civil disobedience, is the scarlet letter.
Okay, scarlet letter. Scarlet letter. It is scarlet letter. That's right here. Okay. So the scarlet letter. It's a great choice. Although the original one was also a great choice. Civil disobedience then is available. Is anyone familiar with civil disobedience? No? Okay.
Thank you.
Sure. Whenever you think about civil disobedience, think about the movie Into the Wild. Because civil disobedience is one essay, a very short essay written by Henry David Thoreau, who's a transcendentalist writer, and his views are greatly expressed in some books and literary speeches and movies such as Into the Wild. Okay, so I'm start to share again the syllabus. Remember to interrupt me in case you have you have made up a choice. What we're doing now, ma'am?
Constanza Pizarro. I'm going to be working with Javiera Periodo.
Good. Very good. No problem. Constanza, the choices are Telltale Heart and the Old Man and the Sea, by the way.
Yes.
So, do you agree with them?
Yes.
Okay. Anyway, if you decide on changing them, just let me know, all right?
Okay.
Good. Thank you. So I'm going to share again okay. The next evaluation is the global interview, which basically I don't have any comment with this. It's basically a final interview in which random and luck play an important but not decisive role, because you might get questions that you are very familiar with, or that maybe are part of your book report, one of your 2 book reports. And sometimes you might get a question that you're not so familiar with because you did not study that part, or because you were not present during that specific session. So what can I say about this final global interview? It's there. Now, I'm interested in these 2 last evaluations, the literary product and the literary analysis, which is an essay. In the last course, you carried out a literary analysis of your own work, right? And the essay. And I had these 2 situations. Sometimes, if I can be honest with you, sometimes the literary work was wonderful, was a really, really good product, almost like a professional product, but the essay was not so strong, okay, academically speaking, or the other way around. Sometimes the literary product looked quite deceptively simple, okay, but the essay, the literary analysis, got the best part of the literary work, so made it shine through, okay. So but unfortunately, or luckily for some, last semester, in the last course, only the essay was evaluated, but not the literary work, okay. Now that's going to change for the semester because the literary work is evaluated, okay. So we're going to see how it works, okay. We're going to see how it works. Still, we have an essay. Still, you can decide whether you are writing a poem, you're writing a tale, you're writing, for example, a 1-act play, and that's totally your decision. We can have different rubrics for each one of them, and since the topic is a free topic, still this for this course is a free topic. Maybe for next semesters, we're going to narrow the focus, because in the next years, we're having this new curricular matrix. So probably we're going to focus more on theater and poetry. But now you have many opportunities to decide, okay? And what I want you to do is I want you to take this slowly, but to start soon. Do not leave this till the very last day, okay? There are many aspects that may have an impact on your life these days. So you may find within these experiences to write about, and maybe this writing process can become a way of escaping from reality, or a way of expressing yourself, or a way of analyzing the reality with a very sharp eye, okay. But take this writing process slowly, so you can move, because if you don't take it and you leave it to the last day, you're not going to move at all. Let me know your ideas, and we can discuss them at specific points during the semester. I'm going to ask some of you questions like, in which part of the writing process are you? What are your ideas? Can you share with us a draft, or at least a description of your writing process? Maybe you might be a little bit shy to show what you're writing about, but still you can describe the process, or refer to it in general terms, okay? So I might be asking for feedback or an update on the process every 2 weeks, for instance, okay? So every 2 weeks, one of the very recurrent questions will be, what are you doing? How are you with your writing process? What is it that is stopping you, or which is the source of your inspiration? Okay, very general questions, open to discussion for everyone to share. Comments or questions? No?
Could you repeat the question, please?
The questions on the update will be quite general. For example, I guess during in the next 2 weeks, one of my questions will be, what has been the source of your inspiration, or have you been writing ideas, drafting ideas? Have you been, you know, searching for new ideas by reading other authors? Very general questions, because they are just starters for you to unroll your process. Sometimes you get stuck, sometimes you get mentally blocked, and sometimes whenever you talk about the process, you might get some ideas from the conversation with other classmates, with other participants, survivors. They are in the same boat. Okay, so we're going to start with general questions, and then as the weeks go by, we're going to go more specific. Like, for instance, later, how many characters does your tale have? Or so far, which figures of speech have you included in your poem? Is your poem rhyming? I mean, do you have couplets? If it's a play, what's the setting of your play? And are you including the audience participation in the dialects of the characters? Okay, so that's the questions will be also related to the genre that you have chosen. Okay. So updates will be required. Yeah. I would say probably every 2 weeks. So because I don't want you to leave the writing process of your literary work till the very last minute. That's going to be not good. Not good. Okay. Okay, I considered that we had to make this pause in terms of the syllabus, considering that book reports involve group work. So we need to make the decisions involving the process of working with others. Also, we need to define the organization, which is pending. I wanted I wanted you to have a heads up, a reminder on the literary work and the literary analysis essay, okay? Because sometimes you tend to forget to organize yourself in connection with what's going on within the course. For today, we were expected to refer to one literary work, which is okay. I'm projecting a PowerPoint slide. I'm sharing with you, not projecting, I'm sharing with you a PowerPoint slide. And these are the two framing questions. The first one says, how did Americans envision independence and nationhood in the first years after the Revolutionary War? And the second one, how did they begin to construct a national identity separate from their colonial identity as British subjects? So I want you to have these two questions as a framework in terms of this revolutionary process. We call it a process because it's a series of events, of dominoes that start pushing each other towards a final consequence, which is the idea of becoming independent from Britain. In general, colonies go through different steps. So most of the times they are loyal subjects until a series of events turn the tide, and then they decide to become independent. Do you know anything about the Chilean process of independence?
Sorry, what was the question?
Sure. The question is, do you know anything about the Chilean process of independence?
Yes, kind of.
Okay. Let's all let's all be let's all build this together, all right? Maybe you know a little bit, then someone else knows a little bit more. What do you know about the Chilean process of independence?
I find some similarities related to the British and American, the American Revolution against the British authority. It's kind of similar. We were conquered by the Spaniards. Is that okay? Spaniards, right?
Yeah, you can call them like that.
And yeah, we gather, we expect them to leave the country for a few days, and organized ourselves against them. It's kind of similar. I mean, there's laws related to this and acts. It's very, very similar.
Exactly. Anyone else would like to join the discussion, the conversation? Well, that silence is also an answer in itself, right? Sometimes we're not very familiar with our own internal processes, because now we're going to be discussing about a document called What is an American, which is a letter written by an immigrant, and in this way we're going to connect later with Thomas Paine, Thomas Paine's Common Sense pamphlet. But first, we're going to start with these questions about the creation of an identity for an American. But we need to remember that this process is not just a specific process of the United States, but also from many different colonies that had to become or wanted to become independent. And at a certain point, they had to develop a national identity, and they had to make themselves different from the mother country. Okay, so these are some of the questions for you to start with. I would like you to discuss them in groups. I know that we cannot create subgroups here in Teams, as we can do that in Zoom. But maybe we can create smaller groups here. I think we need to stop the conversation, and then you have to go and separate, talk to each other. Is that right? Or
Yes.
Or what we could do is number these. We can number these questions, so we get 7 questions. Okay, we get 7 questions, and we get 16 participants. 4, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Okay, 16. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. 15, and I think that the organizer, in this case, the teacher, is also counted. Okay, so 15. We can have 5 groups of 3 students. Alejandro, Bárbara, and Belén You are going to be working together. Alejandro, Bárbara, and Belén. Camila, Carlos, and Constanza, you will be working together as a group. Daniela, Javiera, and Laura, you will be another group. María Paz, Mauricio, and Miguel, you will be our next group. And Nicole, Rocio, and Romina, you will be the last group, okay? So, considering the groups, now choose the questions. Who's interested in the first one? Who's interested in the...
My group, maybe?
Yeah, okay. Okay, so that one is taken. So you can leave and talk to each other, and then we're going to meet in what about 10 minutes? Or 5 minutes?
10.
10.
10 minutes,
okay.
please.
10, no problem. Okay, anyone else has a choice?
Yes. Question number 2 for
Yes.
the group of Maria Paz and Miguel.
Good, thank you. Number 2 is taken.
How many do we have to choose?
1.
Oh, okay.
Unless you want to have more than 1, it's totally fine.
Professor?
Oh, Professor, I didn't understand it. The image just froze.
Okay, let me try to fix that. Okay, I think I'm sharing with you the slide, but I'm not sure. Okay.
Professor, my group would like to answer question number 5.
Perfect.
Alejandro, Belén, and Barbara. Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you. So we have 3 choices. We have 5 groups, so 2 more to go.
I'm going to take I haven't talked to my group, but I don't know if they are going to agree, but I choose number 3.
Okay, and you haven't talked to each other. You haven't okay. All right.
I agree.
Good. Okay.
Hey, thank you.
Happy ending. All right, good. Okay, 1 more to go. 4, 6, or 7. Remember, you have 10 minutes. You have to come back after 10 minutes and share your thoughts on the question you chose, all right? I'm just missing 1 group.
And Mister, I've got a question. How do I create like a room for calling multiple people?
I mean, I can help with that. I mean, you just have to end the current conversation, and you have to select one of the guests and initiate a conversation, and then you can add people to that conversation. I think that's the way I did it yesterday.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay,
Sir,
thank you. I'm going to try.
We would like to choose
Wonderful.
number 6.
All right, number 6 it is.
Thank you.
No problem. Okay, off you go. I'll meet you here in 10 minutes, all right? 9:45, 9:55. 9:55 at 10 o'clock. Okay? All right.
Okay.
Alrighty. I'm sorry, Javiera, you said 7, 6.
Yes, number 6, please.
Number 6. Thank you so much.